Thank you for connecting to the broadcast. I appreciate you. Share the broadcast on your platform. Share to family and friends. Share to people that are around you. Keep sharing so that we can reach out to other people. I wish you a very happy weekend. Very happy weekend to everybody. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy weekends to every one of you that is watching. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Share the broadcast on your platform. Share to family and friends. Keep sharing. Thank you for joining.
Promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Ephits and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isob. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. I had in Sosine Bige. He said,
Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you so much for joining on this very broadcast. I appreciate everyone that has connected to this broadcast wherever you are connecting from. If you are joining us from Biafra land, as always, my special thanks goes to you. Whichever part of the world you are joining the broadcast, if you are joining from Asia, from Europe, from America, from Australia, from Canada, from New Zealand, from Russia, and from China, whichever part of the world you are connecting to us, I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiam continue to guide you, protect you, and secure you. As you join us today, I urge you to stand firm and stand strong. Don't be distracted. And most importantly, before I go now, I wish you a very happy weekend. It is a weekend where people take out time to take care of some other domestic items and issues. But for you giving me your own time at this minute of time, I appreciate you so much and I thank you very much and I wish you a very happy weekend. So today we have come once again, as we always do, on this very platform, which is autopiloted in the hand of Chukwu Kamiam, the original IPOB established by Mazen Nandekan, today under the Biafra Republic government in exile, which is being charged by our Prime Minister, Mazen Simon Ekpa, and under the leadership of Mazen Nandekan. That is where I stand on this very platform. That is where this platform stands, promoting every agenda of the Biafra Republic government in exile, encouraging the Biafran people, encouraging everyone that is genuinely seeking for freedom, speaking the truth and debunking every lie against the Biafran people, against our Prime Minister, against Mazen Nandekan, against the good people of the world. We come here to set the record straight. We don't try to be politically correct. All we do here is to say things the way they are. It's left for you to either take it or you leave it. No matter the attack we get on daily basis on our platforms and various places, that will not stop us from saying the truth. What we do here is to speak the truth and nothing but the truth. Because the foundation on which we stand is laid on truth. Mazen Nandekan laid a foundation of truth. And we are building on that truth. And today, our Prime Minister is also anchoring on that very truth and carrying us along. That is why we cannot afford to lie. We cannot afford to be scared or run away, because we are doing what is right. Do not allow anybody make you look as if you are committing any crime. You are not committing any crime as a Biafran, asking for your self-determination. It is the right thing that you are doing. And it is because we know this right of ours. That is why our enemies are afraid. That is why they are crying. And today, that is why we decided to choose exclusive exposition of the fear and tears of the moles and saboteurs. So as the saboteurs are crying, as they are sharing tears, they can't control their tears, as they are exercising their fears, we are doing what we are supposed to do, moving forward and going ahead. When they go low, we go high. Each time they go low, we go high. And we will continue to go high until we get into our destination very, very soon. What are they afraid of? Have you asked yourself, why is it that all of a sudden, everybody in that contraption have turned their attention on our Prime Minister, Mazen Simon Ekpa? Have you asked yourself, why is it that there are so much attack on Mazen Simon Ekpa from all corners, including those who were supposed to be fighting along with him? They have changed and they are attacking him. Have you asked yourself, why is it that the federal government of Nigeria finally have channeled all their energy against our Prime Minister and the Biafran people? You see them issuing statements from all corners, from all right. The Chief of Army Staff issuing a threat. The Inspector General of Police issuing a threat. The Commissioner of Police issuing a threat. The politicians issuing their own threat, including Ohaneze Ndigbo of all people issuing a threat. And the saboteurs, of course, issuing a threat to one man, the Prime Minister of Biafra government exile. You go to their media today, he is on top of the news. Every place you turn around on the news, you hear them talking about one man. Have you asked yourself why? Have you asked yourself, why are they so much after this man? But remember, this is somebody they told us initially that he's irrelevant. They said he's nobody. They said he's nobody. That nobody should pay attention to him. All of a sudden today, the whole country have channeled every of their energy towards this man. Have you asked yourself why? Why is there so much fear in them? Why are they so much agitated? Each time they hear Master Simon Ekpa, each time they hear him talk, why are they agitated? Why is there so much hatred on him? He has not taken any life. He has not stolen any money. He wasn't a politician. He has not committed any crime anywhere that we know of. And yet, everybody in the Zoological Republic that has a stake, they are channeling their energy towards him. Have you asked yourself why? The reason why the attack is coming on our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa is because of Biafra. Because of Biafra, that is why they are channeling. The same reason why they kidnapped our Supreme Damasin Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. It is that same reason. That is why they are today focusing on our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not commit any crime. They went as far as Kenya to kidnap him and bring him to Nigeria. What crime has Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed? Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is asking for self-determination of his own people. Today, we are seeing the same thing playing out in Mazi Simon Ekpa. A very innocent man, genuine citizen in Finland, with no dent anywhere in his record. But you see the Nigerian government channeling all their resources towards him. You see the criminals channeling all their hatred towards him. They have gone up to the extent of going to his own home country to protest. They have done everything they can, both spiritual and physical, yet they couldn't get him. And they continue their hatred. Have you asked yourself why? You see, it is so sad that we don't know our words as Biafrans. Our enemy knows our words. The enemy of the Biafran people, they know their words. And when I talk about the enemy of Biafran people, they are all over the world. They are all over the world. The British, more especially. The British are the arch enemy of the Biafran people, and they don't want us to proceed. They are only hiding behind the Fulanis to keep us down. That was why, even when we were the people that championed the independence, we were in the front line asking for independence. Yet, when they wanted to bring the independence, they gave it to them, handed it over to the north, to the Fulani. And they excluded the people who were projecting and pushing for that independence. They never invited, they gave Fulani. Knowing fully well, even while the Biafran and the Oduduwa people were pushing for independence, these Fulani said that we are not ready. They prefer to be with British. But all of a sudden, when this very freedom was being given, they called the Fulani and handed them over the force. And they made people from the other side ceremonial partners. That is why a Fulani man will come up boldly. That is why Ahmadu Bello will come boldly and say that they are in control, that the Nigeria is about modernization. Ahmadu Bello said before the whole world that Nigeria is about modernization. That they will make sure that the Northerners take every important position in Nigeria. That even if they could not find a Northern to occupy any position, they are going to take an European, a foreigner on contract. When they cannot find a foreigner, only then and then they will now come back to their own country. Do you see where they placed you? Not even top class. You are nowhere near them. When they don't find somebody to use, they will look for a foreigner. And when they can no longer find a foreigner, now they begin to look around to search if they can use any one of you. And it will be what? On contract. That word that Ahmadu Bello spoke is deep. And that is the genesis of everything we are seeing today. That word Ahmadu Bello spoke is deep. And that is the genesis of what we are seeing today. And that word of Ahmadu Bello is the exact word of the Fulanis and their mentality. That seed of discord that he sowed, that is the same thing that Othman Danfodio did to the north when he came and made the house. Ottoman Danfodio entered Nigeria and he met the Hausas and he preached lies against them. He turned them against their own people. The same way today, they are turning some Biafrans against Biafrans. Turning Southerners against Southerners. That was what they did to the Hausas and they succeeded. They succeeded. Because of this evil that they have already planted in them, in their heart, that will never change. That is why you see the way they behave. Right from time, it didn't start today. What you are seeing playing out in Nigeria today, the northernization playing out, the Islamization and Afroization playing out in Nigeria today, is something that has been planned right from the origin. That was how, this was their plan. Immediately Ottoman Danfodio entered Nigeria, he started this plan. The first terrorist that entered Nigeria, Ottoman Danfodio, he started this plan. He engaged the Hausas. With the same lie they are still using today. They will come and tell you that your people are corrupt. Meanwhile, they are the most corrupt in the world. They deceive the Hausas. The Hausas helped Ottoman Danfodio to destroy their leaders, to destroy their own people. Hausa, Fulani never fought any war in Nigeria. Fulani have never fight any war in Nigeria and win. They have never. What they do is to manipulate others to fight their wars, and they will now claim victory. Hausas were manipulated to fight against themselves. And they thought it was all over. Now, you hear Ahmadu Bello. Ahmadu Bello came and he began to carry the same project of his grandfather. The same project of his grandfather, he began to carry that project of his grandfather. Ahmadu Bello carried that same project of his grandfather. And when he came on board, before the whole world, he was saying that the Igbos, the Igbo Biafrans are domineering. Tell me how they are domineering. Instead of saying that the Igbo Biafrans are hardworking, advise his own people to have a healthy competition. Tell them, look at the Igbo Biafrans, they are very hardworking and they read a lot and they are educated. Why don't you compete with them on that same level? But what he was telling the world that Igbo Biafrans are domineering. And they must do everything to make sure that they change the narrative by modernizing Nigeria. And in that agenda of modernization, the British played a role for it. British took the country and handed over to them. More especially the force, which they created, what they call the military force and the police force. And they used it to manipulate. When you hear Ahmadu Bello say what he said, that was why the Fulani is keying into that very message of Ahmadu Bello. He preached it to them. That it must be a northern first. A northern first. And every other one, Ahmadu Bello, Tafawa Bello, every one of them, they pursued that agenda. And that was what the young officers saw in 1966. That was what the young officers saw, the danger that was coming. They saw their criminality, the danger, and the plans they are having to do everything possible to modernize Nigeria, including taking innocent life. Those officers unveiled that plan and they truncated it in a revolution in 1966. A revolution that was conducted in 1966 led by Kaduna Nzogu, which they called Igbo coup. It was never, ever an Igbo coup. It was not an Igbo coup. That was a revolution to correct the wrong and deadly mentality that was about to destroy the Zoological Republic. They were trying to save the zoo from what you are seeing presently. What you're seeing happen today. You see the loss of life that's happening in Sokoto today, in Kaduna, in Benue State, in every part of that contraction, mainly the north. What Kaduna and Nzogu did was they saw it coming and they wanted to make sure they put a stop to it. And they went on that revolution. And they now translated it to be an Igbo coup. It was never an Igbo coup. There were other people that was involved in it. But among people who were involved in it, actually majority of them who were the officers concerned about Nigeria were Biafrans. It's just a coincidence. They were Biafrans. But they were serving the zoo. This very genuine move was destroyed and they tagged it Igbo coup. It was never, ever an Igbo coup. It was a revolution to make things right. And that was why they went after every one of them that was supporting that evil. Every one of them that had that Ottoman Danfodio mentality in leadership, they were taken out to make sure that they have a better country. But they went ahead to retranslate it to be an Igbo coup. It was never an Igbo coup. And after then, as if that was another, they came back for a counter coup. It is so when I look at the Zoological Republic and their evil, it is unimaginable. You see, when they talk about the death of this criminal, this terrorist, when they talk about the death of a terrorist like Ahmadu Bello and co, those people who were taken out in that very revolution, when they talk about them and cry about them, that they were their leaders, their criminal and terrorist leaders were killed, you forgot that these people came back for a counter coup. And in that counter coup, many Biafran officers lost their life, mainly Igbo officers. And when I mean officers, I mean well-trained officers who are committed to save their country. Well-trained officers, they were all massacred. As if that counter coup was, they carried the counters through into the street, and innocent people were murdered. They went ahead to even take away a man that secured them. The man that secured them and don't go argue you don't see. One of the first general they have in Africa. A general in the field, not just because he didn't give himself a general. A general in the field pronounced by British. One of the first in Africa. They took his life. Up to today, there is no stone laid everywhere on behalf of Aguiyi, an innocent man who was murdered. No stone laid everywhere for his remembrance. A coup was conducted. Counter coup, and he lost his life. But today, they are still celebrating Ahmadu Bello, Tafawa Balewa. All those criminals and terrorists on their side, they are still celebrating them till date. And sometimes they want to force us to celebrate them. And how do they force us to do it? Look at where they put their name. Tafawa Balewa. In one of the busiest airports in Nigeria. No, Murtala Mohammed. Murtala Mohammed. In one of the busiest airports. Murtala Mohammed. A murderer. Somebody that committed genocide. They celebrate him. The recent one is Abacha. Abacha is also having a stadium to his name. And the most painful is the late Muhammadu Buhari, whom the Southeast governors opened their two eyes and they want to take his name and put in our bridge. They took his name and put in Niger Bridge. God forbid. That will never stand. When they know that is a man called Aguiyi who was murdered, an innocent man who has not committed any offense, and they murdered him. They know that is a man called Dim Odumegwu, the warrior of Biafra. They know very important personalities and big names we have, and yet they choose a different path. They choose to carry their evil act. They choose to celebrate evil instead of good. What is their fear? The enemy we are up against, they know us. They know what we can do. They know what we are up to. They are scared of our talents. They are scared of our gifts. It is not because the Igbo Biafrans committed any crime against Nigeria. The reason why they are bent on pushing down the Igbos, making sure that they stumble upon us at every given point in time, including taking our life and wipe us away, is because they know what we are made of. They know what the Igbos are capable of. They know they cannot be able to face the competition. And that is what they are afraid of. Why don't you have a healthy competition? They are so scared. It's just like the message they tell you, you cannot, in Igbo land, they cannot sell land for you. You cannot give shop you. There are businesses, they can't do this, they can't do that. Have you gone to, and the idiots who are saying, they ask them, have they gone to Igbo land to look for a land to buy? And they told them the reason why they will not sell the land to them is this or that. One of the idiots that was talking, somebody gave him a land free of charge, go and develop it. Did he do it? He was scared. When you go to the places we are doing business, it's free. You can go there and rent shop. The owner of the shop will rent it for you as long as you can be able to face the competition. You go there and face the competition, but they will never ever rise to the occasion. Instead, they will depend on blackmail, propaganda, and hatred. But the hatred they have of Biafra people, instead of bringing us down, it will catapult us to the highest level. That is what is happening today in the life of our Prime Minister of Biafra Republic of Exile. Every hatred they are pushing towards him is the hatred they have for Biafra. And you see some Biafrans denying their identity and personality because of this hatred. Some Biafrans have been made to be ashamed of whom they are. They can't, some of them, they can't even mention whom they are. Some of them are so ashamed to even speak their own language. Some of them will pretend not to know, have anything to do with Biafra in order to get a position. That is why today you see governors going against their own people because of position. You see governors planning evil, including bringing military to take the life of their own people because of their own personal gain. You see them today because they have seen their match, because they see a man like Mazi Simon Ekpa and they knew that this man is not going to back down. Today they are crying. They are crying right, left, and center. They are crying today because that very history they have hidden and they don't want people to see. Our supreme leader Mazi Nnamdi took it out and shared it everywhere. Today, everybody in that contraption called Nigeria knows the real history of the zoo. They are crying because they have seen that our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa is not backing down and is not somebody you can bully. If you think you're a bully, go and try him and see. Let me see if you can be able to bully him. You can never bully our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. It doesn't matter how you try. Exactly, Obi. Thank you so much, Obi. There is no retreat, no surrender. That is the one. No retreat, no surrender. They can continue to push their blackmail and propaganda. They just met their match. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi have been warning them. If you take me away, you are going to get something that is much more tough than me. Mazi Nnamdi have said it with his own mouth. That if you think I am stubborn, if you think I am giving you a problem, take me out, then you will unleash terror on yourself. And they called it a bluff. They went ahead to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi in Kenya and extraordinarily rendition him to Nigeria. And they thought it was all over. They celebrated the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi. Even the first announcement, they made the first announcement in their own language. The announcement of the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi in a country where the lingua franca is English. A country that have more than 400 languages. The lingua franca is English. But they came in order to dehumanize the Igbo Biafrans, the Biafran people, and Mazi Nnamdi. They announced it in Hausa. And they were celebrating. And they think it has all gone. Not knowing that Chukwu Okike have placed somebody already in the waiting. in the waiting, not knowing that Chukwu Kabiama already have given a project which he showed to Mazen Nandekano, the new dimension. Mazen Nandekano knew about the new dimension. Mazen Nandekano, I was really knew about new dimension, but when it is going to be unveiled openly, fully, wasn't revealed until Mazen Nandekano was taken out. Immediately they took him out. Our supreme leader Mazen Nandekano did not hesitate. He did not hesitate to hand over power to Mazen Simon. He didn't hesitate. The first opportunity he had in detention, the very first opportunity Mazen Nandekano had to speak to people, he said, go and tell Mazen Simon Ekpa to pilot the affair of the Biafran people. Let him go to the Biafra and broadcast. That was a handover of authority. He confirmed Mazen Simon Ekpa. And then the agent of the zoo, who they plighted as the eye of Nigerian government in IPOB, the eye of the Nigerian government in IPOB saw the danger, and he said over his dead body. And he single-handedly played the role of the caliphate in IPOB, and he came and planted that evil seed. It was this Karo White, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, was the person that destroyed IPOB, and he was able to use those ones that are already greedy. You know, some people will always make themselves about that. Once when Satan want to do something, he will always get people whose mind already polluted. There are people whose mind are already polluted, waiting to be used for evil. There are people who their mind naturally is polluted. They are just waiting to be used for anything evil. And the Karawite lawyer, the lawyer looked around and he saw those people in the wait. The people that are filled with greed, envy, jealousy, pride, looking for power. He saw them and he told them, do not allow Master Simon Ekpa to take charge. Really? He said, yes, don't allow him. And every one of them key in. Just like our prime minister have explained in the past, those people keyed in the afterthought event, people who betrayed Mazen afterthought. So many of them were not aware in the initial stage. But because of their evil mind, when the information was passed, they began to seek for their own personal aggrandizement. They began to pursue their own personal wickedness. The greedy ones, the envious ones, the money mongers, the power seekers, every one of them began to position themselves. And they forgot that which matters, which is our freedom. While they were preaching to you and say command and control, they have forgotten that the highest command is Mazen Nandekano. They began to cut that command. They began to redirect that command. They began to challenge the authority of Mazen Nandekano. And while we were talking about it, people never believed it. They told you that Mazen Nandekano is DOS is Mazen Nandekano, in order to confuse you. But those of us who are born for this mission, we were never confused. We are watching. The fear of the enemy then and still now is the appearance of Mazen Simon Ekpa. They chased him with propaganda. They thought that with propaganda they can be able to stop him. For more than 2 years. For more than 2 years, there has been a constant bombardment of propaganda on Mazen Simon Ekpa. Constantly. For more than 2 years. But it's just like pouring water in a stone. He is not moved. The more you push your propaganda, the more you see him make exploit. The more you push your propaganda, the more you see him make exploit. We have come a long way. He told them when he came in that I will be your end. They thought it was a joke. He told them, I will chase you away from this very IPOB that you are seeing. For me, run away from, I will chase you out. They thought it was a joke. They thought it was a joke because they have chased so many people out. Genuine people, they have chased so many genuine agitators. They chased them away from IPOB. All these idiots. But when he got to the appointed time, when he got to the time of the chosen person, Mazi Samanapa, he told them, I will be your end. They called it a bluff. Today, where are they? Where are they today? Finally, the original IPOB established by Mazi Nandekano have been recovered from the hand of the demons. It has been recovered. Original IPOB of Mazi Nandekano have been recovered. And all those fake people parading themselves as DOS or whatever, today they are running helter-skelter. They are confessing, they are shouting, if Mazi Nandekano doesn't recognize us, if he doesn't recognize us, we will leave him, let him die in jail. We will give him a red line. You should have... Nonsense. Absolute and utter nonsense. Who the hell do you think you are? You don't exist. As far as Mazi Nandekano is concerned, you don't exist anymore. The earlier you begin to know that, you begin to realize that we have moved on, the better for you. IPOB have moved on long ago. Today, IPOB have transformed into a government. Biafra Republic Government in exile today. And they are speaking out as a government, fighting the just cause to secure Biafra. But the most shameful thing is that these same people, they are still speaking as an organization when we have crossed that stage. They are still in agitation. They want to remain in agitation, shouting, agitating for millions of years without any plans or whatsoever. They just want to be making the noise and agitating for billions of years without any plan. Even when Chukwu have already given us somebody, and somebody who have drawn a plan, you have seen a plan on how you are going to walk into your freedom. You know, initially they've been asking Mazi Nandekano, what is your roadmap? What is your plan? What is your roadmap? That has been the common question they ask Mazi Nandekano. What is your strategy? But in the era of Mazi Samanaka, you don't need to ask him. Just watch and you see it coming. Just watch. And by the way, every single step he's taking today is supported fully by Mazi Nandekano. Most of them are the strategies and foundation led by Mazi Nandekano, but there was nobody to implement it. Mazi Nandekano had a clear strategy, a clear project on how to restore Biafra, but there was nobody to be with him to do things. Because all these riffraffs, all these miscreants we are there, using their mouth to drive away people who are going to bring meaning into the struggle. Until the dragon came in and he began to sanitize the whole house. Those who cannot be able to stay, they ran away. Those who refused to run away was sacked completely. And today, you see the level of people that is joining the Biafra struggle. You see the class of people that is joining the Biafra struggle. It is no longer like in Brgie. Today, we are in an era where somebody will come and donate medical equipment worth $5 million. Medical equipment worth $5 million was donated by a Biafran. What made that possible? He saw the seriousness in the movement. Today, you come to Biafra Republic Government in Exile cabinet. Every member of the cabinet, they are well-learned, structured, and mentally sound, pure in heart. You will see professors, doctors, engineers, businessmen and women, nurses, experts that know what they do, educated men and women, mining different organizations, different departments. It is no longer business as usual. Some of you think we are still in that era of agitation. That is the problem. You know, in one of my broadcasts, I used to say that every one of us has a role to play. But when you play your own role and you are done, you give way and allow the next person to come in. Once your own role, you have finished your own part, you give way, let the next person come in. It's just like when you are conducting a TV program as a presenter. If you're a presenter in a TV program and you have 30 minutes to present your program, as soon as it is 30 minutes, you'll be given a signal to move away from there and let the next person come in. Even you don't need to wait. Once it is 30 minutes, you should be rounding up your program and the next person will come in. But in the struggle today, what you see is that people who has played their role when they were supposed to play it, Chukwu will come and use them when he's supposed to use them, and their own role is done. They themselves, they know that their head is empty. They have exhausted everything in them. Leave them for a donkey years, they don't have any increase to add. Now, give way. Let the people that have fresh mind come in so that the journey can proceed. It is the same journey. It is the same journey. Why is it that you are so envious and greedy that you do not want to give way, even when you know that you have exhausted everything you have in you? That is the problem. All these criminals that are parading themselves, initially they were doing well. Chukwu came and used them actually to preach the gospel during the time of agitation. Chukwu came and used them to make noise online and keep the online busy. But we have finished with that very time. Now we are in a time of restoration, and a new set of mind is to be built. You cannot carry the same mind you used in agitation to come in restoration. It is not the same. If you are joining the restoration, your heart must be very, very strong. You must be consistent. You must be consistent. Very, very consistent, and you must be truthful. If you must be part of the restoration, you must be truthful and consistent. Consistency personified. That is what you have to do. It is not a question of maybe or maybe not. You must have it. You must. But people fail to understand, and they are looking to a different path because of your envy, jealousy, greed. You have refused to see the truth, thereby making yourself an enemy to yourself. I have said this on several occasions that it is not mandatory that every one of us must fight for Biafra. No, it is not mandatory. At every time, if you're a Biafra and you're expecting that everybody, no, there's never a time every one of us will engage in it. Some will not participate, and that does not make them Biafrans. That does not say that because they didn't participate, they are no longer Biafran. No. Whether you participate or you don't participate, as long as you are genetically a Biafran, you remain a Biafran. Where you are going to have a problem is that when you become a hindrance, when you begin to play as a saboteur, when you become a mole, you are going to face the consequence of your action in Biafra. You are going to be taken to the court, and the law will take its course. There will be no extrajudicial killing. There will be no jungle justice. You have to go through the law process. Whatever the court says, you will face the full wrath of the law. That is the kind of a nation we're trying to build. But the enemies are afraid. They are so much afraid of our success. They are afraid of the success of the Biafran people, more especially the Igbo Biafrans. Look at today. How the Igbo Biafrans are making exploits in all parts of the world. You saw an Igbo Biafran, a lady in China, who went to China and took the best student in her course, even when she's not from there. She got the best student. The best student in JAM this year is also an Igbo person, Igbo Biafran. And it has been happening again and again and again and again. So every other person in that country, they feel intimidated with the achievement of the Biafrans. They feel intimidated with the achievement and the strength, wisdom of the Biafrans. Now, instead of them to embrace that very achievement, engage in a healthy competition, they wouldn't. They wouldn't engage in a healthy competition. They are coming with different kinds of attacks. Different kinds of attacks against the children of Chukwu. But are they going to succeed? They will never ever succeed. They will continue to cry just the way they are crying today. Just the way they are crying today, they will continue to cry. The earlier you leave Biafra go, the better for you. If you don't, this is your threat you're giving. You are going to see something. You don't know the people you are dealing with. We do things because Chukwu come and permit us to do. We don't just come in and engage in something that is not approved. We are law abiding. The Biafran people are very, very law abiding. That is why if you see the direction we are taking on this agitation, everything is lawful. Everything we are taking is lawful. The civil disobedient is lawful. Sit at home is lawful. We are not creating a problem. The only people that are creating problem today are the Zoological Republic. They are military, they are police. They are the only one today that is creating problem and chaos everywhere. Because of the hatred they have of Biafra people. But will your hatred stop us? Your hatred cannot stop us from being who we want to be. It will not. And those of you who are going to be sent to Biafra land, as you see the Chief of Army Staff making preparations, just as the governor has requested. The governors went there to request for military against their own people. They are going to come. Yes, they will come. But as they come, they will never return. When they come, they will never return. The same thing that had been happening before. And I don't want you to panic. No Biafran should panic. There's no reason to panic whatsoever. This is a road we have passed before. We know them. And the war has been on for a long time. Don't think there is something new. There is nothing new. This thing has been happening for a very long time. They have been engaging us for a very long time. But I tell you, we definitely destroy them. Our Supreme Namazen Nanakana have prayed and said that any man that comes to Biafra land to take innocent life, you can never go back alive. If you come to Biafra land and you take innocent life, you can never go back alive. Whatever plan they have, we know they are coming for attack. But as always, this time is going to be a different ball game. It is not going to be like the Python dance. When you launch your Python danced and we lost so many people and we are quiet. In the era of the dragon, Master Simon Epa, Python cannot dance in Biafra land. Python cannot dance in Biafra land. The Biafra Liberation Army will make sure they stamp you out. They will stamp you out, no matter how you think, what you think. That's why I tell you people, we don't work by sight. The only thing that is confusing some of them, they feel they have ammunition, you have this, you have Tucano jet, you have. Just recently, did you see just recently, ordinary ragtag terrorists shot down their aircraft. A ragtag terrorist shot down their aircraft. Their aircraft was shot down a few days ago. Was it yesterday or the day yesterday? Their aircraft was shot down by ordinary ragtag terrorists. If your terrorists in the north can shoot down aircraft, you can imagine what educated and well-experienced Biafran soldiers will do. You want to try? Go ahead and try. Go ahead and try. And you're going to see the consequence of your idiocy. It doesn't matter what anybody says or whatever blackmail propaganda they are pushing, whatever ideology they are bringing, we cannot back down from our freedom. We cannot back down. Not now, not ever. This moment we have been waiting for. They have been given several opportunities to make correction, but they still refuse. Even as you are watching me, we are still in a dying minute where another opportunity, another gate of opportunity was open to them to do something. They have more than a week now to do the wrong thing and make it right. But they will never choose the part of the good part. They will always choose that terrible part of violence. Because they think that they have monopoly to violence. You don't have, nobody has a monopoly to violence. Nobody. Don't think because the Biafran people will choose to be peaceful. We have decided to choose the peaceful means of airing our opinion and making our arguments. We choose the peaceful way of making our demonstration and speaking up. Then you mistake it for cowardice. You are playing with yourself. You are playing with yourself. And I tell you that, take it to the bank. You are playing with yourself. Whatever decision the Biafrans have taken, we are going to carry it to the last. We have come a long way, and there is no going back. In the stage that we are, there is no going back. It doesn't matter what anybody says, what they think, it doesn't matter. We don't care. We don't care. What we follow is our conscience. As long as we are not condemned by Chukwu Okike Abiyama, your condemnation doesn't make sense. It doesn't move us. The only thing that matters is, what does Chukwu Okike Abiyama say about us? What is he saying about us? As long as he is telling us, go and possess your possession, we will go and we will possess our possession. That's not going back. So stop deceiving yourself and take your blackmail and propaganda can make us change our mind. Never. It will never, ever make us change our stance. Our Supreme Namazim Nandekam will be released, whether you like it or not. And no harm will come to him. An innocent man who didn't commit any crime. You went and kidnapped him and renditioned him to Nigeria. Extraordinary rendition. Committed international crime. You see, when I think about the kidnapper of Mazen Nandekano, I see reason not to trust the West anymore. You don't have to trust the West. How can you imagine that such kind of a crime is committed against a citizen of UK, and yet the UK government is silent? Instead, they are romancing with Nigeria. The United States is romancing with Nigeria. This is the evil, the double standard is in this world. If it were to be in China that this thing is happening, or in Russia, that this very thing that happened in Nigeria is happening, it will make the headline news. It will make the headline news. But with everything that's happening in Biafra land, the loss of life, the propaganda, blackmail, so many things that are happening, yet nobody is reporting it. The local media is not reporting it. It's only those of us who are in the social media that brings it out most of the time. And when we continue to speak out, it doesn't matter what they do, what they say, their propaganda, their blackmail, we will never back down. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. And it is because we are fighting a just cause. We're not just saying it because we want to make problem. No. That is why I tell you that the IPOB of Mazen Nandekano, which is under the control of the Biafra Republic government in Israel and our Prime Minister Mazen Samanepa, that very IPOB will never back down. We know what we want, and we'll continue to pursue it. It is either Biafra or nothing. It is either Biafra or that, as Mazen Nandekano said. He said it and he never missed word. He never missed word. It's left for you to decide and make choice what you want for yourself. Decide what you want for yourself. Obiezue, you're welcome. Thank you for joining. Decide what you want for yourself. A lot of things are happening already, and a lot is going to happen in time to come. So many things are happening. More is going to happen. Prepare yourself. We are entering into a very dangerous time. We are entering a very dangerous time in Nigeria. A very, very dangerous time in Nigeria. It's a time that only information that can save you. More especially people in Biafra land. Information is very important. That is why I urge people, when you come to this very platform, like and share, like and share. Like and share the video in any place you belong to, your family and friends, to the platform where you belong. Share it. We are entering a dangerous time when every information is important. Every single information you hear today is very, very important. Because as we are proceeding into the deep into entering Biafra land, a lot of things will be happening. Is Biafra going to come in 2023? Absolutely, yes, it will. It will. If you have a doubt, that is your business. But for me, Biafra is coming in 2023. And everything that needs to be done will be done. Whatever is in our side to do, we will do. Every responsibility that we have, we will take. We cannot run away from our shadows. We will not. Today, the Biafran people have chosen the most peaceful way to air their opinion. The most peaceful way to let their voice heard in the world. What is that most peaceful way? The most peaceful way. What is that most peaceful way? Self-determination. Self-determination through a referendum. Self-determination through a referendum. And in putting our word for word, we chose the most silent way to make it. Civil disobedience. Civil disobedience is something that is, civil disobedience is not a call for war. It is not a call for disorder. It is not any kind of, it is not a violent call. Civil disobedience is not a violent call. That is the most peaceful way to make your voice heard when you are dealing with a tyrant like those you see in the assault. That is why we have gone with civil disobedience, sit at home. And the coming sit at home, which is going to last 2 weeks, starting from 31st. I am telling you, don't say you were not told. Don't say you were not warned. Prepare yourself if you are a Biafran. Prepare yourself and listen to instruction. Obey every instruction. They will not ask you if you are supporting someone or not. They will not ask you if you are with someone or not. The only thing they need for them to take you out is you being a Biafran. Just for the fact that you're a Biafran, you'll be marked for death. You see why information is important. As we go into this very 2 weeks sit at home, you must make sure you obey every instruction. Sit your home. When the day to come out, you come out, refresh yourself, and you go back. It speaks volume. We are going to hold the sit at home because it seems to be the only alternative, because there's nothing on the table anymore. Nothing on the table anymore. That is why we are now on the speed to get back home and again begin to pursue the right cause of freedom the way we ought to pursue it. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying out there. It doesn't matter the propaganda, blackmail they are pushing from east, west, north, and south, right, left, and center. It doesn't hold water. We, the Biafran people, know what we want, and we are going to pursue it to the last. What we are asking for is freedom. We are not calling for war. What we are asking for is self-determination. That is as simple as that. We are asking for the unconditional release of Mazen Nandekano. The unconditional release Mazen Nandekano. And now you see things change. If your problem is only that sit at home, release Mazen Nandekano. Why is it so difficult for you to do? Because we know it is you, governors. You know, initially, I don't really talk about this. Initially, I never had to toe that very line. But today, it's becoming more clearer. And it is you people that are holding Mazen Nandekano, and he must be released. Everyone that is watching me, wherever you're watching from, I appreciate you, and I tell you, prepare. We are going home. As you are watching, remember the announcement made by our Prime Minister that palliative will be shared within this time of the 2 weeks sit at home. Palliative will be given. And in that given palliative, it should be one family per $10. So if you want to sponsor one family, 2 family, 3 family, 4 family, 5, 6 family, a number of family you know you can be able to sponsor, you can come out and sponsor those families. $10 for a family, so that we can support those who are in the rural areas in this very struggle as we enter into the 2 weeks sit at home. Everybody is carried along, everybody is considered. Try to make your own donation and support the ESN at the same time, because we are in a critical time. I appreciate everyone that is watching wherever you're watching from. I thank you so much for joining this program. I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and protect you, provide for you, and give you the strength to fight on until we get to our promised land. No matter what you see, don't shake. You are going to see more propaganda and more blackmail. Do not waver. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect every Biafran, every Oduduwan, everyone that is genuinely seeking for freedom. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect them. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect the ESN, the Biafran Liberation Army, the BNL. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect them. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect all the members of media, all the media warriors that is working with Biafra Republican Israel. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect them and save them. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect every member of the cabinet. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect every one of the Umuada. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, wherever he is. No weapon formed or fashioned against us shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Prime Minister shall prosper. Thank you so much for joining me on this program, wherever you are joining from. I appreciate every one of you. Please, if you have not shared, share and like. If you have not shared this program, share and like. I will see you again tomorrow by the special grace of Chukwu Okike Abiyama. Thank you so much and stay safe. Bye-bye.